And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Wednesday, July 17, 2024. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what I provide in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence. It'll bring you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left, and then tabs for the various territories. And I like to start out the show with this particular map just to kind of give you a summary about what's going on in the lower 48, because very often the weather pattern, something significant here, is also helping to drive the weather pattern across Alaska. Still of note, along the eastern seaboard, we have very hot, humid, muggy conditions, severe thunderstorm watch, and some warnings potential for flooding rains, along with heat advisories. Heat advisories in the deep south. Also extending further east, we have flash flood watches in New Mexico. Excessive heat watch for southern Nevada, including areas around Death Valley and Las Vegas. And then we have red flag warnings for dry thunderstorms in central and eastern Washington state. So pretty active. The extent of the heat in the west is not as large as it was last week, but still its presence is there. And here in Alaska, we are going to see a trend towards some warmer temperatures by the weekend, especially in the mainland. But before then, we're still getting a batch of moderate to heavy rain working its way through the panhandle, and the potential for minor flooding will continue around the Juneau area, as well as the Chilkat River Haines Highway location as we go through late tonight, early on Thursday morning. The panhandle rains, though, will begin to diminish tonight. Already about 1.5 to over 2 inches of rain has fallen in Juneau. And even though those rains move out, there's some other disturbances and lingering moisture there that'll keep the chance of lingering showers across sections of the panhandle, not just Thursday, but Friday, and probably even lingering a bit into Saturday. Though, again, the precipitation coming up the next few days will be lighter than this batch that's coming through right now, and certainly lighter than the batch that fell this past weekend through Monday. So what's going to happen, though, is a ridge of high pressure is going to try to reestablish itself over the central, east central interior this weekend, which means warmer and drier conditions are going to develop across south central up into the interior, with temperatures getting back up into the 70s this weekend, with some 80s possible, especially by Sunday, and certainly by the time we get into early next week. Some of the normally warm spots like the Yukon Flats could be in the mid and upper 80s. And as that happens, as that warming occurs, the fire danger will be rising there across the eastern Brooks Range and Yukon Flats here over the next couple of days. Also the potential for some lightning strikes, as there could be with that kind of heating, some isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms. Well, looking way to the west, lower Yukon Delta, Imanak, mostly sunny, 54 degrees. Enjoy that sunshine. It's been a very cool and dreary spring and summer there along the west coast. Further inland across the other side of the state, the Alcan border, Eagle, some scattered showers and even some lightning strikes around Eagle, 64 degrees as of mid-afternoon. You can see those building cumulus clouds with that vertical development indicating that instability. Palmer enjoying partly cloudy skies, 63 degrees, but some more rain will be moving into there tonight. In fact, temperatures, though, this weekend could get in the mid and upper 70s at Wasilla and Palmer by the time Saturday and especially Sunday. Juneau, steady, moderate to locally heavy rains this afternoon, and fog as well. Low ceilings, temperature at 54 degrees. And as I said, through so far about 3 o'clock today, Juneau's picked up another 1.5 to over 2 inches of rain. Locally, some higher amounts depending on your location. So we still have flood watch and individual flood advisories in effect. The flood watch is in effect through at least 10 a.m. Thursday for the potential minor flooding, especially in and around Juneau, places like Mendenhall Lake and River, Jordan and Montana Creeks. We also have the Chilkat River that has some high water levels near the Haines Highway, where minor flooding is possible in the lowlands there. But after that, conditions will be improving. At least the heaviest rains will be lifting out of the area this evening and overnight, but still the potential for some additional showers coming up. And a quick check of the fire weather page, we find that I wanted to just point out that the season estimated statewide total acreage that's been impacted by fires is estimated to be now over 600,000 acres, so that's quite a bit. But one thing that's kept this down lower than in some of the recent years is simply we've had such wet weather across much of the mainland here in the past couple of weeks. But we still have pockets of higher fire danger that will continue Thursday and will likely elevate as we go through this weekend with the ridge building and the warmer temperatures and things are allowed to dry. Up in this area here in the Yukon Flats, we have some localized higher fire danger and pocket here in the Copper River Basin. But this will be the area to watch because temperatures over the weekend up this way are going to get into the 80s, especially Sunday into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So here's the current satellite situation. We have this stream of moisture that's coming up along the Panhandle, atmospheric river that's been focused right around the Juneau area. That's why this region here has had the heaviest rain. As we go further to the west, there's an area of low pressure south of the Alaska Peninsula. We still have some lingering moisture here in the south. Along the west side of the Alaska Range, there's a weak low. All part of the system originally came in, just kind of sitting here. It's going to try to activate an area of rain tonight into Thursday morning around the Anchorage Bowl, creeping up to like Talkeetna, the Susitna Valley especially, where another half inch of rain could fall in a number of locations. Along the Arctic coast, we do have a weakening cold front pushing through Utqiagvik. It's not especially strong, but it's there. And we also have within the interior, especially along the south slopes of the Brooks Range, we do have some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms popping up, also along the Elcan border, north of Northway and up around the Eagle area. And looking at the satellite imagery with the surface features on it, we have this low that's pushed into the Panhandle in the front that's going to kind of wave back and forth through there in the next day or so. Lingering low pressure just north side of Kodiak Island, trying to link up with some moisture that's sitting here along the Alaska Range. So that's going to bring in more wet weather along Cook Inlet, Anchorage Bowl, the Susitna Valley. And then this low here, pretty quiet. That one will stay south of the Gulf. And we have a ridge of high pressure. This ridge is going to link up with a developing ridge up here in northwest Canada. And we're going to find that ridge building through this region over the weekend, which is going to allow for warmer and drier conditions across a good portion of the mainland. So late tonight into Thursday morning, we have another little impulse riding northward out of the North Pacific toward the Panhandle. That's just going to keep some showers and areas of rain going there for tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon and into the day. Friday, there still could be some lingering showers. This low should stay south of the Gulf. Notice the high off of the southwest coast in through the lower Bering, and another high taking shape up here. Eventually, as the ridge gets established here across the Yukon Valley back into Canada, notice things start to dry out. We're going to see more in the way of sunshine starting Friday. So drier conditions south central up to the central eastern interior and along and south of the Brooks Range. This low sitting out here back toward the western Aleutians will continue to sit and spin. Won't have any immediate impact on the mainland for the weekend, but temperatures are going to stay in the 50s overnight for the Panhandle, with the rain becoming more showery versus steady rains. And then areas here along Cook Inlet will be upper 40s to near 50 degrees with some more rain breaking out in this area. And then for Thursday afternoon, highs still forecasting approaching 70 down there toward Metlakatla and Ketchikan. But out toward the west, we expect more in the way, still some lingering clouds, so not as warm for the Anchorage Bowl or Talkeetna. But for Friday morning lows, we could see some 40s here, Copper River Basin, but otherwise 50s common, low mid 50s for the Panhandle. And come Friday afternoon, we should have highs, a number of areas, the southern Panhandle, mid-upper 60s, also 65 there towards Skagway. But notice, with the sun, 73 at Talkeetna, 67, 68 in Anchorage, 71 McGrath, 73 there Gulkana. It's going to be a really nice weekend across South Central with those warming temperatures. Across the interior and the north, temperatures are going to be generally 40s, near 50, Yukon Flats, Fairbanks, Tok, the usual places that may be a little warmer in this scenario. But daytime highs back up around 70, Yukon Flats and Eagle. Even 63 here as we get down here toward Cape. We have Cape Lisburne on up toward Point Lay, and a little bit of downslope, 64 there around Prudhoe Bay. whereas readings along Norton Sound should still be around or maybe just a bit above 50 Nome and Imanuk. And then again, similar lows, warmer than it has been, no real 30s showing up. And then look at the heat start to build Friday afternoon. 70s take shape again over the central, eastern interior. This includes Tanana, but look at even up there toward Prudhoe Bay. We're looking at 73 for a high, maybe even 54 up there at Utqiagvik and 62 at Kaktovik. Cooler along the west side of the state, though maybe not quite as cool as they have been. And then looking at the southwest interior, 40s for lows. Same thing down along the Alaska Peninsula into the Aleutians. Temperatures, you don't really see a 60-degree reading until you get around Dillingham, King Salmon, maybe mid-60s for highs Thursday afternoon. Back up around 60 as we go up the Kuskokwim River, 64-ish there to McGrath. As we trail out along the Alaska Peninsula into the eastern Aleutians, 53 Dutch Harbor, and then temperatures again generally back mid-upper 40s for lows Friday morning, and highs Friday afternoon will also begin to warm across areas of the southwest on the west side of the Alaska Range, perhaps already getting back up to around 71 there at McGrath. Coastal areas generally should stay in the 50s along the YK Delta, and then extending out into the eastern Aleutians. So the extended temperature forecast for July 23rd through the 27th is for temperatures to average above normal over the, especially centered on the central and eastern interior. Maybe still below normal here in the Panhandle, along the northwest Arctic coast, fringe areas of the west coast, St. Lawrence, Nunavik Island, down into the tip of the Alaska Peninsula, back toward the eastern Aleutians. The trend, though, by the end of the month is for cooler readings to come back. So this is what I'm just going to tell you. Enjoy this weekend if you have the sunshine. This weekend, early next week, get out, enjoy those warm temperatures and sunshine, because that is probably going to be the warmest we see the rest of the summer, just typically how it goes. And cooling down along the west side of the state, still below normal temperatures, central southern Panhandle. Precipitation-wise, we could see above normal precipitation here over the eastern portion and northeast portion of the mainland along the Alcan border all the way up to the central eastern Arctic coast. Some of this could be actually convection, that's showers and thunderstorms. With those warmer temperatures, some of the showers and thunderstorms could put down some heavier rainfall, and we look for the potential above normal precipitation continuing there across the Panhandle. And then as we take it through the end of the month, July 25th through the 31st, overall, the state could see precipitation average a bit above normal across southern, southeast areas, with a little better probability the further north you go, especially north of the Alaska Range, along and north of the Yukon River, all the way up along the Arctic coast. So again, please get out and enjoy some fine summer weather that many areas will experience this weekend.